tell the chief and he's going back here to cut all the doors. He'd look at me like, you crazy? Yeah. There's only, what, 300 doors in this building? Yeah. And there's 20 in this hall alone, I think. Yeah, that's not chief. That's right, chief. Probably.
Nope, that ain't gonna work either.
There you go.
I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can see. Yeah, if you wouldn't. Oh, I can exhale.
You can?
Yeah, no, I try not to breathe whenever I like swabs. No, I've had to get swabs from out of the jail. Oh my God, those guys, yeah, their breath smells like ass. But, yeah, what I'm gonna have you do next, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close this envelope up and put a piece of tape across it, and then I initial, and then I put an X. What I'm gonna have you do is I'll give you the Sharpie, have you initial, just put your initials just half on, half off of the tape, just as I done. Yay! I cut the edge of the envelope so that way they don't get a nasty gram.
Like the one you sent me?
Not me. The evidence does that. Crayons and probably work better. Alright.
Just right on the 1X?
By half on, half off the tape. It's just initials. It doesn't need to be. And on the top one. Left-handed, sorry. Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you.
How was your day?
Not good.
Did you go to school?
No, school starts at 6, but...
Did you go to work today?
I went just to tell the executives, the vice president, what happened. Because if I would have called my direct supervisor, they would have just started the rumor mill, and people from the Neighborhood Watch emailed me like links from the Sentinel and Wesh that said that, you know, someone was murdered and the suspect was in custody, and I just said, you know what, I don't want them to think that I'm still in jail, so I'll go there and, you know, tell them. And then I went to the doctor and my psychologist, and I think the psychologist was when it hit me the hardest. But what are you going to tell? Have you ever had to shoot anybody?
No.
Good for you. You're probably stern enough to get the point.
Sorry?
You're probably stern enough for it to get the point. You got that.
Hmm.
Authoritative, commanding
They
presence.
can see that I'm all geared up,
I think even without it, I mean,
No.
I wouldn't question your authority. My wife's a mess.
You any kids?
No, thank goodness, not yet.
Well, she said she was at home and she wondered why you hadn't returned, or?
No, the first guy that got there, I thought he was a police officer. And I asked the police officer if I could call my wife, and he said no. So I asked him to call and tell her. So she knew within 5 minutes. The eyewitness was kind enough to call, and she called my buddy Mark that was there. And he drove over.
Did they do a MRI or anything on you?
No, she asked me if I wanted an MRI or a CT scan, and she asked why they didn't do one, and I said they just brought me, they said that they were going to bring me here first, and, you know, they washed my head off, and they felt my nose, and then they said they were going to bring me here first and then take me to CFR, and I didn't, the acronyms, I didn't get them at that time, but my doctor said if they didn't do it then, that I should just be cautious if I start vomiting or get nauseous or any loss of vision or blurriness. But other than that, there was, if they cleared me at the site, then it was up to me if I wanted to pay for it. And those things add up quickly. So.
You have insurance?
Yeah, I do, but it's like
Still has some.
It's like the bargain basement one.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, a $5,000 copay before they pay anything out,
Okay.
and then they pay like 50% of whatever your bill is. So
I have one that's not as bad as that, but I bought the insurance for my family it's called the Blue Cross Blue Shield, the surgical and hospitalization plan, which means they only pay for surgeries and hospitalization, which is fine, it's fantastic if you get hurt. But I only pay $150 a month for my entire family of 5.
Oh wow, that is good.
And just to give you an example, my daughter had broken her arm, and she was in the hospital about 3 days. And she had surgery, and because she had slipped on the trampoline, and instead of her elbow bending this way, it popped and bent this way, and it busted some bones in her arm. And she had to get pins and stuff. And I think I was only out of pocket about $2,500. And it was like a $30,000 expense, like with all the bills that kept coming and coming and coming. So I felt like I have really good insurance. It's just if I have to go to a doctor, I got to pay for it. But it's no big deal because, you know, I'm paying $150 a month where my fellow workers here who get it through the city are paying for a family, you know, upwards of $500 or $600 a month. So I'm saving, you know what I mean? I'm saving $450 a month. So if I got to go to the doctors once or twice, a couple times a year, and pay a couple $100, I'm still way ahead.
I thought municipalities had good health insurance. Wow.
It's expensive. So.
My father's.
That's what I have. And then I do the benefits card where you can put money.
Yeah, health savings account.
Yeah, health savings account. And I do that and use that to pay for the visits.
That's a good idea. Tax free.
I pay for my daughter's braces. And
That's what my mom did for me. My dad's retired Army. I'll never forget. They have, you know, really good insurance. And when I was a kid, they have a form at the pharmacy that you can fill out for like not prescription medicine, like Benadryl or hydrocortisone, bandages, stuff like that. And I was a young kid, and I took the form, and I just started checking stuff off, and I was like, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that, and I turned it in, and they gave me a bag full of stuff, and I went, and I was all excited to my dad. And I said, Dad, look, all this stuff was free. I'll never forget. He said, none of this is free, George. I paid for this with my service. Man, I felt like garbage.
Someone's paying for it somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's good that he taught you that, because a lot of people just think if someone else is paying for it, they don't care. It's free to them.
Amen. Go and take it all back.
And that's why you'll have people who have free Medicaid and stuff. They'll go to the emergency room because their kid's coughing too much, instead of going, okay, this isn't really the appropriate place, but they don't care. The doctor will see them, and the state will pay $1,000 or whatever it costs for the visit, and
we'll pay.
They don't care.
He thinks I don't listen, but I do. You must have had a long day, too.
Yeah, I got out of here at 1, got back here at, got up at 7. I got to bed at 1:30. And then I got up at 7.
Did you sleep okay?
I sleep fine. If I were you, I wouldn't have, But you have to learn when you do this just to not let things get to you. I mean, to me, it's just, it sounds kind of cold to say it, but it's just, this stuff like this happens, and we see it a lot, and if you let it get to you, you wouldn't be able to work here, So it's just like, I don't know, you just learn to separate yourself from it,
Do you talk about it at home?
No, not unless someone asks.
That's what I've heard.
Go home and watch TV with my kids, play with my kids, but I don't ever talk about work unless they ask if I have a particular question, and I'll tell them. But if they say, how was your day at work? I'll be like, it was all right. That's at the end of it, unless they want particulars.
How does it work? Like, you get called in as an investigator, and then you're on duty until the investigation is, like, a preliminary investigation's
Yeah, we stay here until we have no more leads, and then we go home, or whatever we can, to the point where there's really nothing else we can do at this point. We can just come back in the morning.
And then you have to come back. That's your next scheduled shift?
Yes.
You can't, tell them I was out till 1.
Well, they have to give you 6 hours between shifts.
Oh.
So if you get out of here at 1, but you're scheduled in here, say your shift was supposed to start at 5 a.m., but you didn't get out of here till 1, they have to give you 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
So they can tell you have to be back in. It isn't a lot of time, you're tired, but...
No, by the time you get home...
But your supervisors will work with you, if you say, look, I'm really tired, and if there's nothing I can do between 5 and 8, I can just start doing whatever I need to do at 8 to let you come in later and be at the time. But at that point, you've earned the overtime, you don't want to lose it. So
That's
it's
true.
like,
Yeah.
You have bills to pay. And
Were you an investigator when you worked at detail? Oh.
And I just do details to make extra money.
Did Chief Lee put that email in your file?
I don't remember seeing that. He might have sent something.
He said he was going to.
He may have put it in a file, but I don't remember. What did it say?
That you went above and beyond, and you held on to the flyers, even though they were having.
No, I didn't see that. He probably just put it in my file.
Huh.
That was nice of you to do.
It was nice of you to take care of it.
It was a fun party. It was easy detailing. Get paid and sit in a party, and they're feeding me. And
were they?
Yeah, it was nice. It was a really nice family. They had good Spanish food.
Oh, really? I thought they were Middle Eastern.
Oh, whatever they were. That's right. You're right. They were Middle Eastern. That's right. They were Middle Eastern. The food was good.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Now that you say it, they were Middle Eastern. I was at a party with a black family the other day, Saturday, and it was a 9-year-old birthday party, and that was good. They had a lot of good.
Investigator Owen Stanford?
I think I
Okay.
saw you last night.
No, you did not.
No.
Got a seat over there, please. Thank you, George.
Yeah.
I understand that you want to participate in a CVSA.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know what? I am going to grant your wish. On any medications?
Yes, sir.
What kind of medication?
That's
Oh, is it you drinking that now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. I take Libra for my stomach.
Any narcotics?
I think Adderall is considered.
Adderall, okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about
And
Adderall.
Temazepam.
Temazepam, okay. You got ADHD or something?
Yes, sir.
You do? Okay. Yeah. I take it you're here talking because you had a really bad night last night, to say the least. Let me see the back of your head. Okay, from here doesn't look too bad. I'm sure up underneath the bandages it doesn't look very good. Okay, like I said, I'm an investigator. I won't stand. I am the CVSA operator. Matter of fact, I am the senior CVSA operator for the city of Sanford. I've been doing these for quite a long time. And you know anything about a CVSA?
Yes, sir.
You ever taken one? Apparently not.
No. I'm sorry. I went to school for criminal justice, and I just know computerized stress analysis.
For stress analysis. So right there. We even put it right there for you so you can read it while I'm talking to you. Basically, you're right. It's a computer-aided truth verification system. I'm sure you know polygraphs, all that kind of good stuff. This is basically the latest and greatest in truth verification. Polygraphs are great. I think they are wonderful, but some of them have, everything has to take it someplace. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. First things first, let's get rid of the administrative stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I need you to do, I need you to read this. Okay, and I need you to fill in this, and if you agree with the terms, sign down there and date it. If you don't, say so. And then we'll talk.
Sorry, is it the 27th?
Today is 27th, you're correct. I bet you've been put into a time warp.
Yes.
You understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looks like you got banged up pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright. Back to this. Okay, the reason why we're here is yesterday you got into a situation, a very bad situation, and we are here to talk about that, okay?
Yes.
I will tell you up front, for me to be able to do this effectively, I know very little about what's going on in your case.
Okay.
I mean, very, very, very little. Okay, all I know, there was an incident last night. I probably know a little bit more than what the news says, but not a whole lot, okay? I know a little bit more now because the news, as far as I know, doesn't even know who you are yet.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, yes. So your first name is George?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your last name is Zimmerman?
Yes, sir.
I served on submarines with a Zimmerman.
My father was Army.
He was out of, I think, Apopka?
My year's Virginia.
Yeah. Dude, actually, what's your date of birth?
10/5/83.
Okay, the way this works is, like I told you, I know very little about you. I know very little about this case. My whole thing is what I'm going to do is you're going to tell me everything I need to know. We're going to go through this, and we're going to do it. Then me and you are going to develop questions, okay? The way this instrument works
is it's a computer. It's a Dell computer. You see, it's nothing more than a Dell toughbook computer. All right? Nothing special about the computer. It's just a computer. They read ones and zeros. That's it. Okay? What's special about it is the program. Okay? The National Institute of Truth Verification, which should be on the front there. Right there. They're the proprietor of the operating or the program. It's a software. Okay, what that software does is it has the ability to read the tonals on your voice. Okay, there's different parts of the voice. Okay, you have the AM and FM. FM is what you hear. Okay, when we speak, you hear FM. The AM, for lack of a better term, is name it AM. It has really no really functional naming of it. Just to make it easier for you to understand or for people to understand. The AM rides on top of the FM. Okay, normal speech, your FM carries it. Okay, and pretty much overshadows it. When stress is involved, the FM diminishes, and what happens is the AM rides on top, and you can actually see it. Okay, you say, well, that's all fine and dandy. Well, how can you should be able to change it. But just like you're breathing, okay, there's a part where you can breathe, and you can make yourself breathe. You can consciously breathe. And there's other times when you don't even think about it, you don't stop breathing. You just keep on breathing. Okay, that's controlled in your brainstem. Okay, and that's the same way your voice is. Okay, when you're not thinking about it, your voice is automatically regulated. But when you add stress to the factor that AM rides on top of the FM, and with the FM diminishing, and then you can see it. Okay, that's what we're looking for. You can't change it. You can't alter it. There's nothing you can do about it except it's there. Okay, and so that's what we're going to be looking for. So what we're not looking for is I'm not really looking for you lying. Okay, what I'm looking for is your truthfulness and your level of stress. Okay, and that would be evident in the instrument when we roll the charts. Okay, it's not invasive. Okay, it's just a microphone that you put right here and you talk. You don't have the bands around you and everything hooked up there and blood pressure cuff and all this other crap all over you. That's all it is. Okay, it's nothing. It's very, very uninvasive. Okay. So with that in mind, what I need to do is drop you to make sure that there's no residual stress in you. Okay, to get a good charts, I need to make sure that you're calm. Okay, all right. The events of last night. Okay, you being attacked, the guy getting shot. Okay, you being investigator Sereno and Sergeant Smith and everybody, all this attention and all this rigmarole. All right, you're stressed. Okay, now you're here at the station talking to us again. You're stressed. Okay, I understand that. My job is to bring you down to a level to where we can sit here and talk. Okay, bring all this out on the table, and then develop these questions. Okay, there's going to be 9 questions, and we'll go over the questions before. You'll know them all before we start, and then we'll go over it, and then we'll take the exam. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Kind of make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, where would you say you're at as far as the stress level, from 1 to 10? 10 being the worst.
I don't know.
You don't know?
6, maybe 7.
Okay. Pretty high? Or mediocre, because you're kind of getting
It's like it's in the back of my mind.
Right, okay. You nervous about sitting here talking to me at the station?
Not necessarily, no.
You came here on your own free will, no doubt, right?
Okay.
Investigator Sereno didn't say, you're going to come down here or I'm going to thump you or anything like that? I'm going to burn your eye out with a cigarette?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, he does that, so you got to be careful with him. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start. Now, what I want to do is I want you, in your own words, I want you to give me the scenario from the start to finish. Okay, and I'm not going to interrupt you, I hope, for the most part. And then we're going to go back and we're going to dissect some stuff. Okay, things that I think that I might have questions about. Okay, you see me writing, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, I might write just to write. Okay, or it might be something that I want to ask you later. Okay, so don't. If you see me sitting here jotting or something, don't take it into offense.
Sure.
Okay?
can't really breathe out of my nose, so I have to breathe out of my mouth.
Mhm.
Is it okay if I drink water during the
Your
test?
mouth, you can drink as much water as you want.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
You get your nose broken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, start from the beginning. About what time yesterday?
About 7 p.m. I left my house to go to the grocery store, buy my groceries for the week.
What store did you go to?
Target.
Mm-hmm.
And I was leaving my neighborhood when I saw this guy walking slowly in front of a house, looking towards the house. And I knew he didn't live there, so it made me a little suspicious, and then he kept staring around him, at me, and behind, and it arose my suspicion. And then it was raining, and he didn't look like he was in a rush to get out of the rain. He didn't look like he was hardcore physical, like exercising, that he was, running in the rain. He just looked out of place from what they've taught us in the neighborhood watch. So I drove past him, and I went to the clubhouse, and I called the non-emergency line.
Mm-hmm.
As I was on the phone with the non-emergency line, he walked past my car, and I lost visual contact of him. The operator asked me if I could get to somewhere where I could see, or at least give them a direction of where he was headed.
Mm-hmm.
I said yes, so I pulled out and I drove adjacent to the clubhouse. And I was unfamiliar with the street name. The operator asked me what street I was on, and it's not the street that I live on. It's a side street that cuts through the neighborhood, and I told them I didn't know. And they said, we need to know. When I was at the clubhouse, I gave them the clubhouse address, and they're like, we need to know what house you're in front of. And I said, listen, if you come to the clubhouse, you can go straight left, and you'll see me there. At this point, the guy walked around my car. He had his hand in his waistband. I didn't hear if he said anything. My windows were up, and it was raining, and I was on the phone with the non-emergency dispatcher. And then he disappeared back through a cut-through between the houses. While he was doing that, the operator asked me, they said, we need to know what exact address you're at. And all the houses I was next to was the back of the houses, and they're townhouses, so I didn't know the address. And they said, we need to know what street you're on or what address you're at. I think in the heat of the moment, I might have given them my street address. And they said, is that your home address or where you're at now? And I said, that's my home address. And I got out of my car to look for a street sign so that I could at least tell them what street I was on. And there was no street sign, and I couldn't make out the house in front of me because there was a big pickup truck there. So I knew if I saw him walk through the cut-through and then make a right behind other houses. I knew if I went straight and I didn't cut through where he went, that was the street that I lived on, Retreat View Circle. And I knew if I got to that street, I could tell them the exact house number and street that I was at. So as I walked through, I looked to my right where he had gone through. The operator said, are you following him? And I said, yes. They said, we don't need you to do that. And I said, okay. And I walked through to the other end of the street to give him the address. And as I was doing that, I said, he's not here anymore, he's gone. And they said, you don't see him? And I said, no, he's gone. And they said, do you still want us, and by this time I'd gone to Retreat View Circle. And they said, do you still want us to send a police officer out? And I said, yes. And they said, well, where do you want the officer to meet you at? And I said, just tell them to go to the clubhouse, make a left. I didn't give them a description of my car. And I said, I'll meet them back at my car. So I walked through again, and as I was about halfway through, he appeared out of nowhere.
Were you still on the phone?
No, I hung up. They said, we have an officer en route, and I said, okay, thanks. After he asked me if I wanted an officer there, they said, we have an officer en route. I told him to meet me in my car, and I hung up.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my phone away. And when I got about halfway to my car from the street, again, behind the houses in a dark area, I heard him say, you got a problem? And I turned around and I saw him, and I went to go for my phone and call 911 instead of non-emergency this time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I didn't have my phone in the pocket that I thought I had it in. I had it in my jacket pocket, and I reached for my pocket, and I was looking for my phone, and he just punched me in the nose. And I fell backwards to the side. Somehow I ended up on my back. He ended up on top of me, and he just kept punching my face and my head, and I was screaming for help. And he told me, shut the fuck up, and I kept yelling for help. And I got a little bit of leverage, and I started to sit up, and then he took my head and slammed it into the concrete several times, and each time I felt like my head was going to explode more than the last. I felt like I was going to lose consciousness, and I started screaming for help. And he covered my nose with one hand and my mouth with the other one, and he told me, shut the fuck up. And I couldn't breathe, I was suffocating. And all I could think about was I didn't want him to keep slamming my head on the concrete. So I kind of shifted and squirmed my way out, not out from under him, but like to where, because the concrete was it was a sidewalk, and it felt like he only had my head on maybe a quarter of the concrete, and I could shift my way out and get onto the grass, where if he was slamming my head, it would just hit the grass and not the concrete. But when I shifted, my jacket came up and my shirt came up and exposed my firearm. And that's when he sat up and looked and said, you're gonna die tonight, motherfucker. And I felt him take one hand off my mouth and slide it down my chest. And I just pinched his arm, and I grabbed my gun and I aimed it at him and fired one shot. He kind of sat back and said, you got me, or you got me, you got it, something like that. And I thought he was saying that he heard the shot and that he was giving up. So I pushed him off me, and I don't remember if I pushed him off me or I pushed him back. Either way, I ended up on top of him, straddling him. He was up face down. And when he was hitting me in the face and the head, I felt like he was hitting me with something in his hands. So I thought he had a weapon, and I grabbed his hands and I pushed them away from his body. And I said, stop. I said, stop, just don't move.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying something like, and cursing. I said, stop, don't move. And then somebody came, and they had a flashlight, and I thought it was a cop, and I said, I still had my gun in my hand as I was holding his hand out. And I said, are you a cop? And he said, no. And he said, I'll call them. And I said, I don't need you to call them. I already called them. They're on their way. I need you to help me restrain this guy. And he said, I'm calling the police. I'm already on the phone with them. And I got up off of him because he stopped struggling. And I thought he just stopped struggling. And then I holstered my weapon. I saw another flashlight, and I said, are you the police? Because I had blood all over my face and my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the flashlight, it was dark where I was, so the flashlight was really bright. And I said, are you the police? And he said, who shot him? And I said, I did. And I put my hands above my head like that. And I don't remember if he told me to turn my back to him and walk back towards him. but I turned my back to her, and I said, I did. And I raised my jacket, and I said, my gun's right there. I think I told him a few times, my gun's right there. It's right there. And he said, I know where it is. Just keep your hands on your head. Don't move. I said, can you just take my gun? And he said, I'm taking care of it. Just don't move. So I stopped. He handcuffed me. He took my hands down and handcuffed me. Oh, that's when he brought my hands down. I said, my gun's right there on my right side. Because I didn't want him to think that, I was going to grab for it or something. So he put my hands behind my back, handcuffed me, and then he took my gun. And I think it was the same officer that took me to his car. And paramedics got there. They went to check on him first, and then they came over and poured peroxide on my head, on the back of my head, felt my nose, and they told, I don't remember if it was a police officer or another EMS guy, they said his nose is broken and he's going to need 1, probably 2 stitches on the back of his head. And they said, well, we're going to take him down for questioning. And somebody said, should we take him to questioning or CFR first? And they said, no, we'll take him to the station first. And I didn't realize at the time CFR was Central Florida Regional, the hospital, and I just got back in the back of the car and they brought me here.
Okay. Alright, so that was it. Were you on the phone at the time when he was beating you?
No.
Okay, so there was no communication between you and the call center at that point?
No. I'm sorry. There was a guy that I couldn't really see because, like I said, there was blood in my eyes, and I saw somebody looking out through the sliding glass door, and I said, help me, help me. And I think he said, I'm calling 911. But the guy was beating me in the head and the face, but he might have been on the phone. So
there's a possible bystander there?
Yes.
Okay.
He might have been on the phone with 911, I don't know. But I was not communicating with the police at that time.
Okay, after he disappeared in through the cut-through, okay, he turned to the right, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At that time you hung up, right around that time you hung up with dispatch?
Shortly after, yes, sir.
Yeah. And then you were walking there, you're walking back through, but you walked through where he disappeared, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next thing you know, he comes out of nowhere.
Yes, sir.
He says, you got a problem?
Yes, sir.
Or something along that line? Okay. At that point, you went for your phone?
Yes, sir.
And they punched you in the face?
I answered him. I said, no, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
And that's when I went for my phone and he punched me in the face.
And then you guys exchanged some punches?
I didn't hit him at all. I mean, I was trying to defend myself, but every time he punched me in the nose, it felt like my head was going to explode.
Okay. Was it at that time you pulled out your gun?
No.
No. At any time prior to, did you pull out your gun?
No.
Okay. So this possible bystander that you told to call 911 or help, he should be able to tell us that your gun was still in your holster?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Or didn't see the gun?
Correct.
Okay. Because if it's in your holster, you probably wouldn't see it.
No, sir. I mean, as we were wrestling, like I said, my jacket came up.
I understand that.
He saw it.
But if he was to look out and look at you, you wouldn't have been in your hand or anything like that? Okay. And you don't know this guy?
No.
Okay. Other than, why'd you try to maintain such close proximity to him?
To tell the police what direction he was headed in.
Did you feel that you put yourself in danger?
No, because where I was parked, my headlights were illuminating, and I saw him turn down and by the time I was on the phone with the non-emergency, by the time I got to where he was at, I felt he had already made his way. I've called non-emergency probably a dozen times, and these guys are known just to run. As soon as they get suspicious, they run, and they know the neighborhood back and forth, and they just disappear in between houses within seconds. So I kind of walked, and I looked around the corner, and he was gone. So that's why I told him, non-emergency, he's gone.
What was this guy wearing?
Gray hoodie, and I don't remember if they were gray pants or like stonewashed denim pants, I think.
Denim pants?
Pardon?
Denim pants?
No, yeah, like denim, but like stonewashed. I think they were light colored. They might have been jeans.
Okay. And he was a black man?
Yes, sir.
About how tall?
5'8", 9. It was 5'11", I'd say. To 6 foot.
Okay. When you're laying on the ground, you're laying on your back, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's when your jacket came up and he saw your gun, right?
Yes, sir.
Your gun on your left side, right side?
My right side.
Okay, so your gun's on your right side. Where were your hands at?
Trying to keep his hands away.
And then what did you feel next?
His hand slid down my chest. He had one hand on my mouth and one hand on my nose, and he took one off, and that's when he said, "You're gonna die, motherfucker." And I felt his hand going down the side of my chest, and to be honest,
you felt something like this?
Yeah,
okay.
Brushing. And to be honest with you, the whole time I forgot that I had the gun. When he said that I was gonna die, and then I felt him brushing, it automatically clicked that he was going for my gun.
So your hands are up here defending yourself. His hand's going down.
Yes, sir.
Were both your hands on the weapon?
No, sir.
Okay. Where was his hand when you went to retrieve the weapon?
One hand was going towards the gun. He took it off my mouth.
Right.
And I was trying to get his hand, he was suffocating me, so I was trying to get his hands off of my face. So when I felt his hand, he let go of my mouth, so I wasn't trying to do anything again with my right hand. So I grabbed my gun, and I don't know if he did at the same time or what the case was, but I got to it first.
Okay. And then how did you come to fire upon him from that position? Because you're laying down like this, okay, on your back, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you just bring it out of the holster and straight up like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't, like, try to push it into him or anything? You just fired it from almost like from the hip?
I think I made sure that it wasn't, because my hand was in the way, I made sure it was past my hand, because his other hand was still on my face.
Okay.
So I made sure it was
he that far away, or was he right up on top of you?
He was like putting all his weight on my nose and my mouth, trying to suffocate me. So he was like creating a crevice with his body, and then he when he slid to go for my gun.
Did he go for your gun with his left hand or your right hand?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Which hand he used.
But one of the hands went?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The one that was on your mouth?
That's when it clicked that I had my gun, and when he said...
But the hand that was on your mouth, he went to your
Yes,
gun?
sir.
Okay. But then you got it, and you went out like this?
I think I went far enough to where I could make sure that it was past my other hand and in his general area.
From what you're describing to me, he's not that far away from you.
No, he's on me.
He's on top of you.
Yes, sir.
Right, so there's not a whole lot of distance between you and him.
Right.
So you can't really extend your arm.
Correct.
Because then you got a gun sticking out. What kind of gun is it?
Keltec 9mm.
Keltec 9?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's probably only about that long, right?
Shorter.
It's a little tiny gun.
Yes, sir.
But still, I mean, you don't have hardly any play before that gun's directly into his chest.
Correct. I was on him. I knew I was.
And as soon as the round went off, he stopped attacking you?
He sat back and he said, "You got me." or you got it, whatever.
I'm sure it all happened just that quick, too.
It felt like an eternity when I was yelling for help.
Sorry about that. Kids' school. They always call it. Okay,
And I thought the police were there, they were gonna be there, so it felt like it took forever.
yeah, that part does go forever. I've been there before. Not in the situation you've had, but seems like it takes forever for, somebody to get there when you really want them. When in reality, it's only probably a couple of minutes. Okay. I'm gonna step out for a minute.
Yes, sir.
When I come back, we're gonna start developing questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
You need to use the restroom or anything?
If I could just get more water.
You need more water? Sure.
It's from the restroom.
Yeah, you can. Good. Get it from restroom. It's right there.
Yes, sir.
And then just come back in and sit down, okay? Okay, have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
For crying out loud. Okay.
Set this up.
So you feel a little bit more relaxed with me?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a very... not very intimidating to begin with, but you know what I mean?
Everybody's intimidating at this point.
Nobody's intimidating. Okay.
I think the sergeant went to the class, or the supervisor, the guy you said supervisor.
Yeah.
Just so you know, they're not mine.
Alright, I'm thinking. There's somebody's... I forgot to ask them. What his schedule was. Ah, jeez. Get off the phone.
Oh, my employer asked for the case number too.
Why? They have no business to it.
I guess they wanted to see if I was a criminal or something.
Yeah, what was the last 4 of your case number? Hello? Oh, alright. I'm back in here again. I just came out and talked. Good for you there, Chris.
Now that I think about it, they're probably just being nosy. But they seemed to, it was HR, they asked,
It's up to you, man.
they asked for the police report, and I said, from what it sounded like, there wasn't going to be a report for a while. And they said,
Well, number one, we're not going to give anybody a copy of the report for a while because homicide investigations are not released until they're complete. Okay. Tired.
I hear ya.
Okay, here we go. What color do you say the walls are?
Cream?
Okay, remember that. We agree that they're green. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it seems like the major issue here, or what we're basically looking for in the scheme of things, is we're looking for your truthfulness as far as was the confrontation against you and not a mutual confrontation? And I guess the other point would you be in fear for your life?
Yes,
Okay. So, with those two in mind, I'm going to develop these questions. And what do you call this guy? You call him the kid? You call him...
The guy.
The guy? told you there's gonna be 9 questions.
Yes.
Didn't lie to you. There's gonna be 9 questions, okay? We got 3 types of questions, all right? We have irrelevant questions, which are everyday questions that should impose no stress, okay? They're very benign. Is your name George? Is today Monday? Is this the month of February? Are we in the city of Sanford? Am I wearing a watch? Okay?
Okay.
Very benign questions. Should not elicit any stress whatsoever. Okay? You don't have to lie. They're going to be yes or no questions. Okay? Then we have control questions. Okay? Control questions are there for a very specific purpose. Okay? They're there to see what you look like when you do lie. Okay? So I'm going to ask you 2 questions and I want you to purposely lie to me. All right? Those questions are, is the color of the wall green? And you're going to say, you're going to lie to me.
No.
All right, you're going to say no. Okay, so I want you to remember that. Is the color of the wall green?
No.
Okay. The other one is, I'm going to preface it with, you were driving last night on your way to the store, correct? Which you never made, right?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore I know you drive, you have a driver's license. Okay. At some point in time in your life, I'm sure you've been stopped by the police for speeding.
Yes.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to remember that situation when you were driving and then you first figured out that you were getting pulled over by the police, or you first saw that cop, that feeling you got inside you, that oh shit feeling, your nerves went through the roof, your palms got sweaty, your throat got tight, okay, your heart started pounding, okay, you started breathing heavy, you got real nervous. Okay, remember that? The way you felt? I want you to remember that when I ask you this question. Have you ever driven over the posted speed limit? And you're going to tell me?
Yes.
No, you're going to tell me
No.
no. Okay? You're going to lie to me again. 2 questions, you're going to lie to me.
Okay.
All right? Is the color of the walls green?
No.
Okay. Have you ever driven over the posted speed limit?
No.
Okay. Very good. Remember this. Okay?
Okay.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to ask you this. Okay? These are the relevant questions. These are the questions I want to know whether you're telling me the truth or not on, okay? Were you in fear for your life when you shot the guy?
Yes.
Okay, since you don't know this guy's name, and you call him the guy, then I'll call him the guy. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The other one is, did you confront the guy you shot?
No.
Okay. So both those, that one would be a no. The other one's going to be a yes, correct? Okay, make sure I got it right. All right, that's it. That's all 9 questions. Not bad?
No.
Okay. What I want you to do, is that your umbrella?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What you do is I want you to take that chair,
Yes, sir.
turn it facing that wall, and have a seat. Right here on your shirt, okay? And once you relax on it, you sit with both feet on the floor, sit straight up, okay? I'm not gonna let you drink at this point for right now, okay? But this is relatively quick, okay? You just went out and got something to drink.
Yes.
Did you go pee?
Yes.
Okay, so you're good. You're all relieved.
Yes.
Okay. Your stress level should be lower. Okay. I'm gonna ask you the series of 9 questions. Remember the control questions.
Yes, sir.
All right. What are they?
Are the walls green? And did I ever drive over the posted speed limit?
And your response to both of those is going to be?
No.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I ask you all the questions, I want you to respond in a yes or no answer. Not yes sir, not no sir, don't add anything else to it, just yes. Just a simple yes. Okay, just like you've been talking to me this whole time. Okay? Don't try to modulate your voice, it's not going to work. Okay? If you try to modulate it or make it different, I'll be able to see it, and then we'll just have to probably redo it. Okay? You're not going to skew the results. Okay? It's going to, remember I told you you can't do it, so don't even try. That's pretty much about it. If I ask you the same question twice, it's not that I didn't believe you. It's that something went wrong. Either I didn't hit the space bar on time, you answered too quickly, okay? Something went awry, and then we got to redo it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So don't read into it and get all nervous on me, all right?
Yes, sir.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna calibrate the machine. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna put on auto calibrate. And we'll see how it looks. Okay, I want you to give me a yes.
Yes.
Give me a no.
No.
A yes.
Yes.
A no.
No.
A yes.
Yes.
A no.
No.
Another no.
No.
And one more.
No.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Is your name George?
Yes.
Is your name George?
Yes.
Is the color of the walls green?
No.
Is today Monday?
Yes.
Did you confront the guy you shot?
No.
Is this the month of February?
Yes.
Were you in fear for your life
Yes.
when you shot the... Hold on, let me finish the question. Were you in fear for your life when you shot the guy?
Yes.
Are we in the city of Sanford?
Yes.
Have you ever driven up the posted speed limit?
No.
Am I wearing a watch?
No.
Am I wearing a watch?
No.
Okay. That was 9 questions. Wasn't too bad, was it?
No.
Did it shock you every time you said something wrong?
No.
Okay. Was there anything that got you?
No, sir.
Okay. You can kind of turn it.
Well,
We're not done yet. Go ahead and take a drink of water.
Oh, I wasn't sure about the watch question. I didn't know if that was one I was supposed to...
Remember, I don't have a watch.
Mm.
Okay. I sense your hesitation. Also, like I told you, don't draw out your nose. Okay? This is straight no.
Oh, right.
Not no. It seems like you were uncertain on a couple questions. Just remember, yes or no. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. That was a practice chart. What it is what we do is we always do the second chart. The reason why is, remember I told you stress?
Yes.
Stress is a big deal.
Yes.
Well, what we do is it's situational stress. Okay? Just you being hooked up to the instrument, me reading into your soul, is causing stress on you. Okay? And it shows up on the charts. So what we do is we run you through the questions. Okay? It's going to be the same questions again. And that's about it. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to run it one more time. Remember the control questions, which are?
Are the walls green? And have you ever driven over the speed?
Okay. Am I wearing a watch?
No.
Okay. Wait for me to finish asking the question completely. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. You'll be alright. Is your name George?
Yes.
Wait for me to finish asking the question, please. Is your name George?
Yes.
Is the colors of the wall green?
No.
Is today Monday?
Yes.
Did you confront the guy you shot?
No.
Is this the month of February?
Yes.
this month of February?
Yes.
Were you in fear for your life when you shot the guy?
Yes.
Are we in the city of Sanford?
Yes.
Have you ever driven over the posted speed limit?
No.
Am I wearing a watch?
No.
Okay, we're all done. You take that off and you return to your seat over here. Perfect timing. This is your last episode?
Probably 3 notes, maybe.
Yeah. What about Christmas? You said they were in here.
They aren't mine.
There he is.
Probably 3. No, they aren't mine.
Okay.
You can go over anything with him?
Nope, I am done.
Huh?
I am done with him.
Wonderful. All right. We are heading back to his house then.
Okay.
They're already out, Chris, and I sent those 2 out to start canvassing the neighborhood again, see if we got anybody to see anything or do anything.
George, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thank you, as well.
Hopefully I never see you again.
Absolutely.
That's always a good thing from a police officer.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bill.
India.
That's what I thought.
All right.